People that have gone from ugly to very attractive. How did your life change? Well, I've done both things you mentioned. Lost 100 pounds and gained a sense of style. Everyone is nicer, not just women. Retail workers, professionals, people at bars. I can say the most idiotic thing now and people will laugh with me and be interested in what I'm saying. Previously I could say something actually insightful or funny and just get ignored. Not very attractive, but I definitely look better than I did. I'll reiterate what a lot of others are saying. People are nicer. I've gotten some crap from people who think I'm too skinny now, but I'm pretty happy with how I look now and can ignore them. I know that when I was fat I hated going to anything social and would outright avoid seeing people who knew me when I was thinner. Pics with guests. When I was in middle school, I specifically remember one of the more attractive girls in my grade having her instant messenger status as Jaworski is hot. Me being the only Jaworski in the city and hilarious looking at the time, I took no offense, but years later I realized. Flash forward a few years, several haircuts, new teeth, and no more clothes 3 sizes too big, and I like to say that I'm doing dang fine. Jaworski is hot now B. I still have the confidence of an ugly kid. Even though the outside has changed, the interior complexes remain the same. Can wear skinny jeans now though, so I guess that's a plus. I was fugly enough to be among the half dozen or so outcasts at my school. My unsightliness made it impossible for me to even ride the bus. Scrawny, oversized head, crooked teeth, plastered in acne, swollen lips, hand-me-down clothes, and a bad home haircut kept me in lowly status from 7th grade until high school graduation. Then after an Accutane ordeal, the acne began to dissolve. I got my braces off. Then I joined the military and got in shape, and finally able to build muscle in my early 20s. After completing my firefighting degree, I went to visit a friend in my hometown and ran into a few people I went to school with. They sort of recognized me but were in disbelief. I got a lot of satisfaction by utterly ignoring a girl who was attempting to flirt with me since she was a cold-hearted B in high school. TLDR. Life is better overall. I still have the ugly kid confidence level at times though. And yes, people are effing shallow. I was a pretty ugly kid with acne, terrible fashion sense, and stick-thin body who grew up to have a decent face, nice clothes, and color curves. Now my awkwardness stuttering is endearing and men are a lot more helpful with me. I think I have more self-confidence. I stand up straighter, which also makes me more approachable. I was the ugly duckling who turned into a fairly attractive female with a killer figure. I'm glad people don't pick on me for my appearance anymore, but having guys harass me when I wear something nice is just as irritating. I generally dress down and prefer to be average. In college I was an engineer who didn't care too terribly much about my personal appearance, as far as fashion or flattering clothing choices or makeup goes. Once I graduated and actually had money and time to spend on such things, I started caring about my appearance. I've noticed big changes in how people talk to me or look at me. People hold doors more frequently, for example, or if I say, "Look lost," they'll ask if I need help. Interestingly enough, this is true of both men and women, for the most part. The hardest part for adjusting to it is learning that just because someone is being nice to you, it doesn't mean they are actually a nice person or that they just want to be friends with you. This especially applied in relations with the opposite sex. The attention from guys was a min-fuck at first because I couldn't understand why they were being so nice. I stupidly thought they just wanted to be nice and friendly. They certainly couldn't be interested in me because guys just didn't get interested in me. Anyway, I've figured out the flirting signals, but I still struggle with getting really shy and lacking the confidence to respond to clear advances. Guys I'd known my whole life were suddenly asking me out. I mean, I get it. I looked a lot better, but the week my acne is gone is the week you take notice of me. It's good to know that you're capable of overlooking my flaws. I've gone back and forth several times. When I looked my best, I was just as miserable as when I looked my worst. When I was looking my best, I made the mistake of going blonde. It lasted a couple weeks. It got to the point I was afraid to leave the house. Men became so aggressively friendly and I was constantly being approached. It made me edgy and nervous. Even good men had trouble just carrying on normal conversation. So I decided it wasn't worth it. I didn't want to spend my life primarily being desired and not being taken seriously as a person first. I've found being slightly overweight but not unhealthy, as well as being not unpleasant to look at, makes for the best life. I'm sure I'm going to get downvoted for the weight comment, but for me, it's true. How about a little reverse? I shot up pretty fast in middle school, to about 5 feet 4/5 and always had an attractive face and personality. People always liked me and wanted to be friends with me. Things were so much easier. Everyone laughs. Everyone listens when you talk. Get away with murder. Nothing really bad. Was a good kid, but then I just stayed 5 feet 5 inches in high school. 22 now and I'm still short. Freshman year wasn't too bad. But after that, I start getting rejected much more. My personality became more needy. I remember a particular time. There was this girl I thought was funny and had jokingly, but still seriously, asked to her dance. She said, "Stand up." I did, and then she said I was too short and laughed. You don't get your way as much. You resort to scheming more. You really see people with their masks off and guard down because you're not really a threat, respected, at all, by guys or girls, and all that entails. You have to always have your personality on turbo every time you're around people. Otherwise you come off as creepy. I hate that. If I'm quiet and just minding my own business, I come off as a weirdo. You have to be something around people, otherwise you go overlooked or make people uncomfortable. I have the attractiveness without the height, which is hard to make up for. People look at the appearance and pay attention to the height. Good or bad. What counts, I find, is the heart of a man. Not very attractive, but I will admit I am better looking than before. All that's holding me back is my lack of confidence in myself. Lost a lot of weight, acne's gone, hair is much nicer, feels good. Used to be pretty awkward and ugly as a teen. High school sucked. Lots of bullying, leaving me shy and introverted with lots of self-loathing. Nowadays I'm not a model, but I'm average. No more bullying and dating life has improved, though the scars are still there. I go through periods where my self-esteem takes a dive and I feel like awkward teen me again. I'm female BTW. Guys come out of the woodwork when this happens. I had guys who I thought were very attractive in high school tell me how they had crushes on me back then. Yeah, right. I still don't date much just for the simple fact that the guys I am attracted to, nerdy, glasses and long curly hair, always seem to get tongue-tied, and it takes a while to break them out of their little shell. But once I start talking about the comics I'm reading or the games I play, it gets easier. The worst part is I have watched from the sidelines so long that none of the players even stand a chance. I always see right through their game and what they really want. I am really grateful that I was ugly first, because I look for the inside more than the outside. I went from decently attractive to being compared to Ryan Gosling in about 2 years. All due to a better haircut and dressing like I give a dang. A dang is definitely now given. If you're going to casually drop a Ryan Gosling comparison, we are definitely going to need some proof, bucko. Moved. New job, new social circle. Decided to be confident. Turned out this was much more attractive. Fake it till you make it, baby. Much easier with a clean slate. So if you're going away to college, wherever, start from day one being the person you wish you were. Gradually you'll become that person inside too. Sounds like bulls, but it worked for me. Men pay me more attention but listen a lot less. As an ugly duckling, I was able to engage men in stimulating, in-depth conversations, but now most of my opinions are met with AWW, you're cute, and some sort of flirtatious touch. My quality of life has most certainly improved, but I have found that being a pretty girl seems to render all other attributes irrelevant. I used to be an overweight tomboy. I'm attempting to dress more feminine and have currently lost 60 pounds. The lack of confidence is still there, but I'm hoping that things will get better with time. The way others treat me is definitely different. I find that more people want to be friends with me and I get hit on quite a bit. It's a nice difference. Painfully skinny, weak, stoop-shouldered, physically late to puberty, acne-ridden, crooked-toothed, bad hygiene, homeschooled Bible fundamentalist, Social reject. Joined USMC. Got muscle and good posture. Eventually went through puberty. USMC gave and took confidence. I bore nicknames for my prepubescence. Millimeter Peter. Acne cleared around 22. 23. Completed puberty just before this. Braces and palate expansion surgery. Gave me more prominent cheekbones. Corrected horrible bite pattern that had affected my diet nutrition trays. Got a real world education and lost the social retardation from Bible thumping homeschooling. Learned to listen to others instead of spouting my know-it-all opinion. Flossed, showered, flossed, for God's sakes. Folks, floss. That is 90% of bad breath problems right there. All of these physical and mental social issues faded. People that knew me before barely recognized me physically or socially. People started treating me better. More life opportunities. Dating options. Social invites, etc. I still have a soft spot in my heart for folks that are like I used to be. I know they'll come around. Or they won't. I had an epiphany from an interview I watched on Tootsie the movie. Dustin Hoffman explained how he disregarded ugly women because of their looks, and it made me realize our society does place far too much value on external beauty. It made me love my ex even more, because she was with me before most of my transformation. All of the previous issues had also accumulated depression and negative attitudes in me that still required years of personal growth to shed. There is a difference. It is sad in a way, but only half of the changes came through physical change. The most important aspects were with my attitude. Not much changed. My looks went from a 4 to an 8 since I lost 60 pounds. Started wearing contacts, and started weightlifting. I used to be compared to Mr. Bean, but now I'm compared to George Clooney. For real, I've noticed girls do act more positive to me, but I still have the reflexes of my former self and assume I'm imagining her attraction or assume they are messing with me. I typically don't realize girls dig me until it's too late and I've blown it. I get a lot more Facebook likes for my random inane statuses after I started putting recent pics of me up. I don't think I got any funnier. I'm pretty sure this will get buried under the 944 comments, but I figured typing this out might help me anyways, so here goes my experience with your question. I am a 22-year-old female who has lost a significant amount of weight and now rests somewhere near 120. In the process of doing so, I have learned to do my makeup through books, tutorials, and practice. Have completely changed my style from high school crust punk to something to what I like to think is a pin-up 50s style, and cleared up my skin. People have called me beautiful and attractive, though I'm unsure as to whether or not that is true. I've experienced what many in this thread have. People are nicer, more likely to go out of their way for you, and guys certainly hit on me more. That being said, I've grown ever obsessed with my weight and measuring myself. I chart everything I eat, and usually at the end of the day I've found myself pretty severely undereating. But with my weight loss so has grown a disdain for the feeling of being full. I have a difficult time making friends. My hobbies are male dominated, Magic the Gathering, League, etc. But I've often become friends with a guy only for him to stop talking to me when he finds out I am involved in a relationship and do not want to pursue a relationship with him. Many of the friends I did have now have issues relating to me. In particular, my best friend. Her and I were both large in middle school and high school, has never brought up my weight loss, and our relationship has grown strained and somewhat awkward. High school friends that I see around at bars, parties talk viciously about me behind my back but are kind to my face. Like, go Agaji and you look so great, only to walk back to their group and begin talking while having everyone look over at me. It's also been confirmed by other friends that they do. I've become dreadfully insecure when people stare at me or talk to me in bars, etc. I always assume they are playing some type of joke at my expense or are very drunk. I like when people are kind to me, and I like to get complimented, but I almost never take it seriously and am sometimes very nervous due to the attention. I've thought about posting to Reddit Stories immediately, but I'm worried about the response because it's incredibly difficult for me to hear harsh criticism about my looks, body, especially if I feel it can't be changed. The worst part is, even with all of this, I'd never go back to the way I was. I also love never having to pump my own gas because I'm terrible at it. Well, I went from a high school laugh out to a full-time glamour model. I used to be about 150, 160, 36DD, wearing a size 12-14. I was always the chubby little dumb girl because my family didn't know how to eat healthy, and I was too dumb to figure it out. Also, no access to the internet due to an overly controlling home life. At some point at the end of 10th grade, a teacher changed my life forever when he basically blamed me for all my problems when I had blamed my family. Your excuses will carry you till you're 18, but then you're screwed with justifying why you're screwing up. That hit me hard. We talked for a while, and he really inspired me. I was always the high school joke, stupid, ugly, and even got bad grades. I hung around with the wrong people and did stupid crap. That summer, I decided I wanted to change so I can get myself into a better situation. I spent my savings on a flirty girl fitness DVD set and used that to work out in my bedroom all summer and learned to eat right from using other people's internet. 11th grade, I returned to school around 130 pounds, still dropping, and got straight A's all year. I ended up graduating that year and spent 12th grade in college full time and got down to 115. I had always dreamed of modeling, and I figured if there was ever a time in my life to try, it was now. Heck, I was on a roll with the weight loss and good grades, so ride the wave. One thing led to another, and now here I am. I know it's not quite a 200-pound drop like some people, but to me, it was MT Everest. My life changed because once I dropped a pant size, I knew I could do another. It was honestly one of the first things I ever accomplished. No sports, no trophies, nothing. Then I dropped another. I slowly built up confidence over time as I kept accomplishing small goals. These days, I still view myself as just another girl who's got slight nerd tendencies and loves football. I still go after the bigger guys, and I think it's because they were always nice to me, even when I was bigger. I just like them better, cuddly and whatnot. LOL. And yeah, everyone's nicer to me now, but to be honest, I know why, and it causes me to question if they're being nice because they would be to anyone, or because now I'm considered hot. It makes you question people's intent more than I ever would have when I was chubby. I was just in Penthouse, Easy Riders. I write for 10 international editions of Maxim, and I do marketing for Playboy in Miami, as well as travel full time with my modeling. It definitely changed my life, because it gave me one TLDR. From chubby dumb girl to somewhat intelligent model, but still won't shake all of the mentalities from being bigger and looked down upon. Life's a piece of crap. When you look at it, life's a laugh and death's a joke. It's true. You'll see it's all a show. Keep laughing as you go. Remember that the last laugh is on you. And always look on the bright side of life. Always look on the right side of life. Okay, I'll admit when I was a kid I wasn't the most handsome sight. I had big old ears and a double chin and a tire belly and I was short and nasally. I had friends, all guys, but girls didn't really notice me or really even take second looks at me. It did really hurt my confidence, seeing as I hit puberty pretty late at about 17. All of a sudden I'm tall and look like my handsome nono, and all these women and girls start looking and talking to me. It is very uncomfortable because sometimes I forget I actually look like a man now and not some fat little T. Everyone is nice to me and I'm even starting to get some free drinks at bars sometimes. Oh. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.